having been raised in a Christian church, putting others first always, as I recall, always felt a little to me like a sacrifice. You know, putting somebody else before, like there's two of us and you put somebody else first. But tonight what we're going to do is we're going to sort of work a little with feeling into what it's like to be first, to be put first, sort of see non-duality that way, that we're not really separate. And we're going to talk a little about noticing how the ego comes up and resists letting somebody else be first. And we're going to talk a little about practice and how we kind of work with that. So,
the Bodhisattva vow.
Yeah, the Bodhisattva vow, which is save all sentient beings. I vow to save all sentient beings. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put Diane first.
Nice.
So you're first.
Okay, good.
What's it feel like?
Feels good.
What do you notice about being first?
Well, we were just kind of experimenting with this a little bit earlier. I mean, it's a kind of a cold winter night and we're all here and, you know, how do we actually engage this topic in a way that brings it to life a little bit for you and for your practice? And so Michael asked me, what does it actually feel like when I say, you know, I'm putting you first? And what I noticed immediately is I relaxed. Like there's just this kind of sense of relaxation because there's a funny way that at a subtle level, because of our, you know, kind of organized around how we are around surviving and taking care of ourselves, and just a subtle sense that if we don't, we're not going to make it, you know, and not to begrudge that, but that we're subtly holding on all the time. And so when he asked me that question, what I experienced was just this kind of quality of relaxation that set in. Like suddenly the, you know, that whatever that kind of grip we have on things, or that I have on things, in terms of how I take care of myself, suddenly like that just feels relaxed. And so just notice for a second, let's just imagine for a moment in this room that everyone in this room has your highest well-being in mind, and they're here to take care of you.
So if each one of you could sort of sit, maybe you want to close your eyes, maybe you want
or not
if you don't want to.
Yeah. You're in charge.
Right.
Yeah.
But everybody in the room is here to put you and your interests ahead of theirs.
And you in particular. So what is your experience? What do you notice?
It's like reverse paranoia.
It's like, that's exactly right.
Reverse paranoia.
It's like a reverse paranoia. Yeah.
Not so much striving.
Yeah, like all of a sudden the striving relaxes, right? Yeah. What did you notice?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't trust people.
You don't trust people? Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, like actually to even imagine that to be true creates a sense of I need to protect myself. Like I can't even actually imagine that. My life experience is so other, and my patterns of being are so other than that, I can't even imagine it. Beautiful. Good. Yeah.
It just feels like immense generosity.
Yeah.
And being receptive to that is wonderful.
So receiving others, putting you first feels
is
wonderful.
wonderful.
Right. Very good.
Because initially when you talked about it, there was resistance to it because
You didn't trust it, just like he said.
well, it was more, my focus is, taking care of somebody else.
Right.
So there's a lot of resistance to putting myself.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So your first reaction was, I feel that I should be caring for others, and for others to be caring for me, I resist that. I push that away.
I wasn't pushing it away. It was just not, it wasn't something that came
It's not your
up for
pattern.
me.
Yeah.
It's not my pattern. It didn't come up for me initially. but having permission to receive
Mhm.
and having everybody take care of them.
Isn't that wonderful?
I'm totally with you on that one. 'Cause that was kind of how I felt. Like I suddenly had this release of fear. Like all of a sudden I didn't feel afraid anymore. And I've been going through a situation where I've become almost like not an extreme agoraphobic, but I haven't been leaving my house at all. And this was really hard for me. I think it's taken me 3 weeks to get here in this intimate setting because I was afraid of that. So when you said that, oh, did I need to hear that?
Oh, wow.
Like,
That's
that
so
was
great.
totally perfect.
Yeah.
Because so I have to agree. I think that it's very nice when you can
Accept it.
totally believe that it's
Great.
First thing I thought was, wow, this doesn't happen a lot.
No, it doesn't, does it?
No.
You don't think it does.
No, I don't think it does.
You don't experience people caring for you, putting you first.
Not everyone in the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
But after that, it was a relief. It was like, good, I don't have to worry
Yeah.
about as many things. You know, everyone's here for me.
So we
Nice.
should pay attention. We should pay attention to the two sides that we're experiencing. One is the side where the ego asserts and says no, right? And the other is the moment where we relax and say yes, right? And what that feels like, just that little kind of subtle letting go that happens. Yeah, when
My first reaction was embarrassment. I would like to duck out of the situation. So I have to kind of talk myself into believing that it's okay to receive. You know, it's just,
A little like Mary Ellen's saying.
and then it feels very nice.
yeah,
It's not my first response.
Interesting.
anybody else?
I had the reaction of kind of strong emotion, sort of overwhelming, kind of wanting to cry.
Yeah.
Really? You felt opened up, right?
Vulnerable, sort of,
Yeah.
in a position I'm not often in, because I feel like I mother people in a lot of ways, and to be on the receiving end of that is, I guess it's good, but overwhelming.
Yeah, indeed. And also let's just pay attention to, because for this evening, we're going to just stay in this particular place of just kind of relaxing into the experience that you are everyone's primary concern, and that everyone's genuine interest is your well-being. You know, and just kind of really letting yourself relax into what that feels like, and noticing the way in which we clench, or the way in which we resist, or even just all the ways in which the resistance of self-identity, if you will, takes over. It can take the form of drowsiness. Literally, the resistance to feeling that quality of expansion, of trust, of relaxation, the form that takes has many, many different qualities. Literally, you can start to fall asleep because, you know, somehow I can't bear the experience that I could be that available and that cared for. You know, so just kind of watching how that comes and goes is really important. Now I'd like to just shift your attention for a moment also. So imagining that you can really feel that and receive it, and that quality of trust and relaxation sets in, what now do you notice about your own generosity and your own ability to give? Yeah.
Well, clearly it gets more energetic, takes on more of a life of its own.
Yeah, yeah.
But I actually, I couldn't go there in my imagination. I felt that way when I received Jukai a few weeks ago. I really did feel that way, you know, all these people lined up to hug you. It was really nice. So I have to kind of remember how I felt then in order to do it now. Without that, I can't go there. It's too much fantasy for me.
Yeah.
To think about caring for everybody in this room, that's a piece of cake for me. I mean, I can feel that and feel good about that.
Okay, but let's notice something, okay?
So
Let's notice.
You can't feel anybody else caring for you?
No, I can most definitely.
Okay.
But not the people in this room.
But when you feel cared for,
Yeah.
I think, now, what is your response to the feeling cared for? Do you feel then open towards others, or do you just feel them giving to you? Does it feel reciprocal?
Both. I feel open.
Okay.
I feel reciprocal. Yeah, sure.
And also, we should really notice something else, because this is part of the human predicament, is that I bet everybody in this room feels more accustomed to caring for, in an interesting way, than being cared about. But there's a math problem there. Because if everybody in this room is caring for everyone else, what we're describing is already happening. Right? Do you see what I'm saying? There's a peculiar phenomenon going on here. So if there's as much care in the room as we think there is, we should all be having the experience of feeling cared for.
That's interesting.
Right?
Yeah, and I would
And yeah, we're habituated against our ability to feel the giving and receiving because of the nature of our hurt. Right?
And
It's a habit.
picking up,
That is the but. Yeah.
picking up a little on the hurt point. So if we tend to feel we give, but we don't tend to feel we receive, then doesn't that really mean that we feel the world doesn't treat us appropriately because we're always giving, and yet the world is not giving to us?
Oh, another little. We're finding a few.
See? If we all think we're giving,
Which we are. We are.
but we don't think we're getting, as Diane
Again,
says,
another math problem.
there's a math problem there. But that doesn't tell us something about our sense of injustice, our sense of unfairness, a sense that life isn't.
Or a fundamental sense that as long as we're organized around self always has an experience of the insufficiency of things, right? So we're going to kind of try to crack this egg open a little bit so we can share and feel actually the abundance of how we actually are caring for each other and giving to one another all the time. And there's no way that can be happening without the fact that we're also continuously receiving all the time, right? And we know that. It's just a habit of mind, yeah.